Please help support the channel by visiting our Amazon store, affiliate link below. Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is the Mundane Matt channel, and one of the big things I like to talk about is free speech. One of the big things I support is free speech. The idea, the concept, the very nature of free speech, in my opinion, has been under attack in this country for quite some time. We are now in an age where people are being fired and for having the wrong opinion, and people are being deplatformed and unhumaned and everything else just for simply not going along with the general consensus. We are a country, this country, 326 million Americans, each with our own opinions, our own minds, our own destinies, our own actions, and yet we are almost through some default expected to all believe and act the same, depending on whoever might be in power or whoever might be trying to be in power or whatever the social norms are of the time. And it's always an unfortunate thing. But just because I believe in free speech doesn't mean I agree with your speech. I just want to make that abundantly clear. This story, I don't agree with what this person was writing, but I don't believe he should be, I don't believe he should be in the position that he's in as a result of it. Because California is prosecuting a man right now for insulting posts on an Islamic Center's Facebook page. Yeah, we've gotten to the point now where we've gone full-blown Sweden. Or people are being arrested based upon their social media posts that are just being insulting. Not like the 19-year-old black guy who called out an assassination threat on Obama a couple years ago and got 1 year in federal prison. That's different. That was calling to assassinate the president. This dude simply was just basically hurling the internet equivalent of bacon at a mosque. Dickish, but dickish. That's it. That's where you just leave it. So in September 2016, Mark Feigen posted 5 insulting comments to the Islamic Center of Southern California's Facebook page before he was finally blocked by the ICSC from commentating. He said here, "The terror hike sounds like fun," written in response to the center's sunset hike announcement, saying also, "The more Muslims we allow into America, the more terror we will see." A statement that has very much been echoed by our current president, not one that the majority of Americans believe. Practicing Islam can slow or even reverse the process of human evolution. Thanks for that hot take, Alex Jones. Islam is dangerous. Fact. The more Muslim savages we allow into America, the more terror we will see. This is a fact which is undeniable. Again, when you start pulling your talking points from Alex Jones, you may want to rethink where you stand in your life. But then finally here, he says, "Filthy Muslim shit has no place in Western civilization." Now, the thing is, you can criticize Islam, and he's critical. He's being a jerk here. No way around it. He's being a total jerk. There are people in the comments of this video, they're going to be like, well, he's not wrong. Well, that's his opinion. And even though I am against a lot of the tenets of Islam, I don't like organized religion at all. And I do think these particular comments are protected by the First Amendment because they're not trying to incite violence or harm. It's his opinion. Him saying, "I don't want you here," is not him calling on a group of dudes with baseball bats and crowbars to take you out. It's just not the same thing. So California is now prosecuting him for posting these comments on a theory that they violate California Penal Code 653MB, saying every person who, with intent to annoy or harass, make repeated telephone calls or makes repeated contact by means of an electronic communication device to another person is guilty of a misdemeanor. Nothing in this subdivision shall apply to telephone calls or electronic contacts made in good faith or during the ordinary course and scope of business. Okay, well, all things considered, you could argue that he did make these in good faith because those were his opinion. And his good faith was who spread his opinion. But they blocked him. They blocked him. He can't comment anymore. So there's that. Like, I think that's that. Once they block him and he's done, if he was circumventing the blocking by creating multiple new accounts to go there and harass them, then you might be able to argue that. But if he just posted 5 times, they blocked him and he hasn't come back, then going after him over this is pretty stupid. The post, the California AG's office argue, were made with the specific intent to annoy and harass the members of the ICSC, because Feigen was not trying to engage in any kind of political discussion, but instead trying to vex members of the ICSC with his thoughts about their religion. The posts are criminal because they constitute repeated harassment from those who wish to mock, disparage their religion. But then again, hate speech is protected by the First Amendment. So if he's mocking and harassing their religion, then that's technically within his rights to do. And it's not like he was going to their front door. He was on Facebook. They blocked him through a third-party application. It's not the same thing as getting in their, their face repeatedly over it. I don't like what he says, period. But I just think that this is really reaching. This is very much a scare tactic suit or charges. This is trying to get other, this is trying to scare other people and stuff. And rather than attempt to engage in discussion or debate, are cruel and pointedly aimed at dismissing an entire religion and those who practice it. Yeah, but we live in a country where I can do that. No, watch, I'll do it right now. Christianity is a sham. Judaism is a sham. Islam is garbage. Fight me, bro. Like, no, not literally, but we have the right to do that here. I have the right to criticize and mock and disparage your religion. Your religion does not impact my life. I'm not going to be a jerk about it, but we have the right to do that if we want to. And at the same time, 5 comments. Come on, you should see like some of the comments I get on Twitter. All right. Like if I have the wrong opinion, you'd be amazed at how many times a day I'm called a freaking pedophile, because that's the go-to insult. That's the go-to freaking insult. It's like you mute them, you block them, you move on with your day. That's it. That's entirely it. You don't see me trying to file charges using California Penal Code 653 MB because I'm being harassed through the internet. No, because I'm an adult. Criticism comes my way. I find my own way to deflect from it. Valid criticism, obviously, I pay attention to, but it's, the other stuff, not so much, because it's just pointless. This guy's criticism of Islam is pointless. You just delete and move on, man. That's it. Now, it goes on to say, what could be more intolerable for the ICSE communications director to check the ICSE's Facebook page and discover that someone has written practicing Islam can slow or even reverse the process of human evolution, as the defendant did in this case? Or how about filthy Muslim shit has no place in Western civilization? This is exactly the kind of repeated, annoying, and harassing electronic communication that PC 653MB is meant to deter. Protected speech, political speech, defendants' posts on the ICSE Facebook page are neither of those things. It could be argued that by the president of the United States making the claims that he has during the campaign, that he then entered that into a political discussion. He then brought that to the forefront of the political discussion here in America, and therefore it is considered dissenting political speech. One could argue that fact, or it's just free speech and we leave it at that. Again, as much as I disagree with everything this gentleman has said and how he said it, I believe he has the right, just as they have the right to block him and move on with their day. And the government's argument makes clear that it's going after Fagan for the content, indeed the viewpoint of his speech. The mere content and nature of the post establish that they are not made in good faith, as defendant would suggest, but are meant to annoy and harass. Defendant is not seeking understanding or guidance. Instead, he is posting to annoy and harass those who have beliefs of which he vehemently abhors. The Facebook page's public accessibility does not translate into requiring the ICSC or its members to sustain repeated harassment from those who wish to mock and disparage their religion. They kind of defeated that point by saying it was public. So yeah, there's that. Nor is it the government's argument limited to vulgar epithets, filthy Muslim shit. Though even those epithets are constitutionally protected when said outside of the context of face-to-face fighting words, it applies just as much to non-vulgar criticisms. But those weren't face-to-face fighting words. He wasn't going to the communication director's personal page and saying that to the person. He wasn't going to the imam of the local mosque and making that claim to their face. Facebook. Okay, those aren't face-to-face fighting words. He's talking to an organization. Not necessarily the same thing. Again, want to just point out, this dude is a dickhead, but there's that. So, of course, there's nothing in the government's logic that limits it to comments posted on the Islamic Center's page, or for that matter on the Catholic Church page, or the Westboro Baptist Church page, or the Church of Scientology page. If the government is right and the statute applies to posts on organizations' pages, then it would apply to any repeated harshly critical posts. On an NRA page intended to annoy NRA employees, on a pro-Trump page intended to annoy its operators, or on any other ideological organization's page. I mean, look, if you want to apply this logic to everybody or be fair about it, you know how many times I've repeatedly disparaged the president on Twitter? A lot. And I do that because, for one, it's my right as an American to criticize the president when he says dumb things, which I do. But they could sit there and argue repeated harassment on this thing. I better be charged for that. Although I'm in the state of Washington, not in California. And I don't know if the state has any kind of comparable laws. But that's essentially it. That is essentially like this whole thing. It goes on from there into other cases and whatnot. But this boils down to a First Amendment situation. Does this guy have the protection of the First Amendment to espouse his opinions? Yes, he does. Did they block him? Yes, they did. Did he come back and continuously post? I don't know. They're only going after 5 comments here. And if 5 comments is all it takes for the state of California to come after you for harassing somebody in a misdemeanor charge because they don't like what you said, which they have made abundantly clear they don't like what he said, then that is a load of malarkey. That is one of the things I don't like about the Democratic government. And as much as I consider myself left of center and everything else, I don't like that overarching control. Yes, the guy's a jerk. All right. You block him, you move on with your day. You block. You can't sit there and say this is a public organization on a public Facebook page, or it's on a public Facebook page, and the guy can say what he wants and everything else, and then just go from there. And then they can be busting him because the communications director doesn't want to see this. Well, the communications director blocked him, so he doesn't have to see it. Case freaking closed, man. But people are just trying, they're just trying to further police speech, which I'm just not a fan of. I don't agree with it. And you know what? There were at least going to be, events about free speech that were supposed to be coming up. As far as I know, they're still happening. And you know what? You can hate on an event like that all you want. You can dislike the way it's run all you want. But there is never a greater time right now in America where people on the left and people on the right who vehemently believe in the concept of free speech have to put aside petty bullshit, petty differences, and come together and fight for what is right. This dude is a jerk, is a straight up bigoted jerk, and he has the right to do that. And even though I disagree with the 5 things he said here and how he presented them, I will defend his right to say it, because that is how you promote free fucking speech. Sorry, I'm a little riled up. What do you guys think about this? Let me know in the comments below. If you guys liked the video, be sure to toss it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you are new, and I will talk to you guys in 2018. So have yourself a happy new year. Be very safe tonight. And if you want to see more comments from me or more videos from me while you kind of wind down the rest of the year, you can do so right now.